campaign. That man didn't see home for for years.
They were just taking their land.
They went from Greece to Egypt and then all across.
So they took down all of that.
Let's get that history.
Okay.
The spirits on it. First Maccabees. Start from one. One on one.
It's 101. Daniel 7 as well.
I know. We go shell off that still, but I'm just wanna flesh. Since he mentioned it, let's flesh it out in the scriptures, so they know that it's in the scriptures, man.
And the leopard. When he mentions Alexander, the leopard. That shows you that's him as well spiritually, because what did Alexander even have on his as a helmet? A leopard, bro. You know, he had that leopard helmet.
Facts.
Yeah, facts. He had that leopard helmet. That's Alexander.
But the Most High put the spirit of the leopard upon him, man.
And he was swift. He was swift.
He was swift. On
12 years he conquered.
Yeah.
No, and he died young. He died young too. So the spirit was upon him to conquer.
The wicked don't change their spots.
Go on.
This is First Maccabees 1 from the top. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian.
Now remember that. The son of Philip the what?
Macedonian.
Alexander was the son of Philip the Macedonian. Because they were mainly came out of Macedonia. Right? Remember that. Remember that.
Who came out of the land of Chittim and smitten Darius, king of the Persia.
Darius, not Xerxes. See, that's why we got to read over it.
Darius, yeah.
Xerxes was before that. Xerxes started the war.
Yeah.
And then the war went on to Darius, I believe. His son, right?
And smitten the Darius, king of the Persia, and Medes, that he lay.
King of the what? Persians and the Medes. That backs up how the brother was breaking it down so correctly. Good.
That he lay in his stead the first over Greece.
He actually conquered. Remember, what was Greece made up of before that? What was Greece made up of? You brothers know the name for it? You know the name for it? You know what they were called? City-states. Greece was made up of city-states. Just like Rome was really a city-state. Yeah? Athens was what? A city-state. Right? Because in the ancient world, you had city-states. Cities that had dominion over vast swathes of land that were around it. Babylon was a city-state. Akkad was a city-state. The 5 cities that got burned up during the time of they were city-states, meaning there was a time when people didn't really move as a whole nation. They set up cities.
300, isn't it? Because they said the Athenians, they would refer to them by their city-state.
Yeah, exactly.
The Spartans.
Troy was a city-state. All right? Not necessarily a country, but rather a city that was operating independently. Right? Now, what would happen is one city might go conquer all the other cities and form a nation,
alliance.
That's what Babylon did. They conquered all them city-states that were in the Chaldean region, and that's how they started to form their empire. Babylon became the chief city of that region. Prior to that, it was Akkad. And then prior to that, it was what? Sumer. So we know about that history, baby. You know? All right, but Macedonia, a country, but they gained power over all these other city-states of the Greeks, but they all came together under Alexander to defeat the threat of the Persians. You know, because not all the Greeks were Edomites. Some of the Greeks were Japhets. The Spartans were Israelites. That's in this, you know what, Salaki. Let's get that. That's the way it is. Because the Spartans were Greeks, right? Sparta was a city-state. They were Greeks, but they weren't Edomites and they weren't Japhites. They were Israelites that had gone over there and set up a city in the land of the Greeks, which the original Greeks are the children of Japheth, which are not the so-called white man is not the original inhabitant of Europe. Just like he's not the original inhabitant of America or the Americas. or Africa. He's the original inhabitant of nowhere. Because really, the land of Edom belonged to the Horites, right? Yeah? But technically, the land of Edom is Esau's birthright. It's his land that the Most High gave to him. So we, let's not go too hard on Esau. Esau's only land that he could say is actually his is the land of Edom, right? And they got destroyed out of that land by their own people, the Romans. A group of Edomites came and destroyed the Edomites. Hey, you Edomites ain't brotherly, man. And that's what they jump on. Oh, the Romans, they destroyed the Edomites. Yeah, the Edomites that were living in Edom. But the Romans that were ruling were Edomites. Yeah, Shelah.
Says Maccabees 12 and 21. It is found in the writing that the
Lacedaemonians, right? That's why you had the lamba, the L on the shield of the Spartans. I believe that's in the movie. Did they have that in the movie? Did they have the L, the Lacedaemonian L?
I can't remember, Let me double check. Let me Google it.
Yeah, Google it. In fact, Google Lacedaemonian, so we could prove to the people that Lacedaemonian Spartan is one and the same.
Oh, that's in oh yeah, that is the same thing. Yeah, they said that even in the movie, the Lacedaemonians. Yeah.
Oh, did they say that in the movie?
You can Google it. Lacedaemonian. It says a native or inhabitant, an area of ancient Greece comprising the city of Sparta and its surroundings.
The city-state of Sparta.
Yeah, it did have the L.
It did have the L, the lamba. Yeah?
Yeah, they sit.
Oh, Salakia, correction. Darius was the father of Xerxes. So he took... Right, Salakia. So it was Xerxes he took down. Was it Xerxes? Which Xerxes did he take down?
Yeah, like look, he had that there on the shield.
Right. Who did Alexander take down? Let's correct that.
He had that there on the shield, that's right.
The lamba, that's right.
There we go, man. That's right there.
But remember, there's different ones as well.
But those were Jakes, man. See, even when you see in the movie 300, man, King Leonidas, he had that big ass beard, Israelite beard. And you know what?
Darius.
When you look at in Egypt,
Darius, it was Darius. There's more than one Darius.
when you look at Egypt, man, you see them Jakes.
Yeah, correct. We was correct the first time because there's more than one Darius.
Those were Jakes, man. Them Lacedaemonians.
Hey, but that's why you gotta go look up what we're saying, and then you can get the little intricacies of Darius the first and Xerxes the second and all this stuff. Yeah, go.
That's Maccabees 12 and 21. It is found in writing that the Lacedaemonians and Jews are brethren.
Brethren, meaning they're the same people. So them Lacedaemonians, they were Israelites that had ventured over into them lands and set up a colony, basically. All right. So the Spartans weren't of the same stock as the Macedonians. All right.
And that they are of the stock of Abraham.
Stock of Abraham, meaning they're Israelites, man. Because they couldn't have been Japhites then, because the Japhites ain't of Abraham. Yeah? Confirmed?
Confirmed.
Okay.
And they would have known that, man, back then. Only now people don't know what's going on, I'm sure. Because the world's been fucking corrupted, man, by Esau. No one knows who the hell they are. No one knows who the hell they are.
Jump back.
Yeah. They knew we were descendants.
Oh, they had the records, man. They had the records.
Where Abraham,
because our people, we dealt with higher levels of learning and writing. All right? We weren't just brute beasts dunking basketballs. All right? We dealt with everything. Warrior scholars. We had whole segments of tribes dedicated to learning and see, they try all the Greek philosophers. They got all that from us. We already had the wise men. The scripture tells you about the orators and the wise men of Israel. We already had that high level of culture. Guys that would just be studying and, Solomon.
Oh,
Yeah?
if I can say it with that, when I was looking into recent, like, you know, brother. I looked into like recent, like, you know, slavery articles about slavery, and one of the things that really stood out to me is that when they're going to take Jake from the West Coast, they were specifically at some points they were specifically pinpointing artisans, people that were really high in craft, like certain crafts, and then they were bringing them over to teach them techniques over in Babylon. You know? So I was like, you know, our people have always been.
Yeah, come on, Jake has always been bad. Like, hey, Benjamin could put in work, man. Even right now in England, not these younger generation, they're zombified. The older, like my dad's generation, them dudes are all bad boy painter decorators and mechanics and all that, like on a different level. Them man know what they're doing, man. But that's in the scriptures, man. It's always been like that. We got all the skills, all the flavors. All right? When we're in our right mind and we're not chastised and broken down and completely destroyed into some goon, all right? Or rapper or something, you know?
I'm going to go back to this first Maccabees 1 and 1. And it happened after that Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetim, and is meeting Darius, king of Persia.
So that was Darius III, right?
And he meets that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, and he made many wars, and he won many strongholds, and he slew the kings of the earth, and he went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations.
You gotta understand, this is back then when they didn't have like aircraft carriers and this. My man's left from Macedonia and just went like clean across the world and didn't stop until he ended up over in Afghanistan, I believe he was. Like you do that. You do that. Forget fucking jet plane. Yeah? Forget the new age boats with the big motors. Go get yourself some sailboats, right? Go to Macedonia, leave from Macedonia, end up in Egypt, right? And then travel from Egypt all the way over to Afghanistan, man. For 12 years, man, doing wars. Fighting battles, man. You're getting bust up and wounded, healing up, got a war again. Madness. Yeah, cool.
From the website Quora, just I'll read the main quick points. The Spartans were Greek, however, they were not the same race as many other Greeks, and they would have largely rejected the concept of Greece. They came from the north and at some point settled in southern Greece, founding Sparta as we know it today.
Well, we know they didn't come from the north, so it's going off. Where did they come from? The east.
Israel. The east, yeah.
Esau, man, that's a sneak that.
They were Hellenized Jakes.
That bone.
Oh, is it Hellenized? Hellenized Jakes.
Which would have been before the Hellenistic period as well.
That's it.
The concept of Greece was also largely scoffed by the Spartans. They were isolationists and hardly seemed to like aiding their fellow Greeks, even in a crisis such as...
because they weren't the same people. They kept to themselves, man. They had their own customs in that city-state. Or in that, not in a city-state, but in that region
But
of
that's
the
what it was.
Yes, Sparta. They didn't have the same customs as the Athenians and they had their own way of life, man. Why did they have their own way of life? Because they knew we're different to these people, man.
But then,
see how Esau's in the movie, that they would have to make hills help us out in this war, and because they knew these people are war, man. We need help from them, and they knew that, man. They knew that, man. It's just But the point is, the Spartans kept separate from the rest of the Athenians and the rest of the city-states in that region.
It says they also had a superiority complex, one that military-wise was pretty well deserved for a long time.
But they were some super proud Jakes, man.
They were just, John Jonesy, Joshua's, bear them kind of cats.
They went too hard into it. That's why they fell away from the true custom, That's why eventually they were taken down anyway.
And saw themselves as the best, not on the level with the other ancient Greeks.
Yeah, but that's Jake's spirit.
Yeah.
Floyd, that Floyd spirit, I'm the best, That Cassidy spirit.
And he is.
Yeah. Jake is the best.
He's the best.
It's confidence. But sometimes, Jake get proud with it. But Go on, finish that off.
and went through to the hands of the earth and took spoils of many
He
nations.
must have got to the ice wall.
Well, it shows you in that Alexander movie, Alexander got to he conquered everything, and I think he was in Afghanistan in the top peak mountains, and it was snow. And he was talking to, I think, Lassamakas, one of his other generals, and he was like, "What else can we conquer?"
Well, I believe they went as far as Afghanistan at the time.
Yeah, it shows you like what.
But
else can we conquer, man?
that's some raw terrain. Afghanistan,
mountain terrain.
yeah, it's raw terrain. They say it's where empires go to die, man. Afghanistan.
Because many empires have gone there, Genghis Khan, and many people,
It's
Americans
raw
are
terrain.
there right now. They're still fighting in Afghanistan.
It's raw terrain up in there, man. But yeah, that cuts the flat earth, because they're talking about the ends of the earth. Well, Alexander went there. So he should have an account, right? We went there, there was an ice block. There was a block of ice, a wall of ice you can't get past. Nah, it's a figure of speech, man. It just means far away, man.
No man's land.
Yeah, go on, man. Flat earth is up. But that's died down. You know that flat, you notice the CIA put that out there. The little psychological, the Tavistock Institute said, you know what, man? How many people can we get to believe in a flat earth? Well, let's see if we can co-op these little truther movements. So they pushed that flat earth shit out there, and it just, at one time they had bots pushing the flat earth. Because I was watching one live stream for something, and it was just thousands of people coming on there talking about flat earth, flat. I said, these aren't real people, these are fucking bots. You know, CIA bots pushing out that flat earth thing, man. And a couple Israelites even fell for it, man. That was a new demon, the flat earth demon. But notice that flat earth demon died down now. You know? That was a psychological, to see what you could get people to believe.
In so much that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted,
And he had no challenges. He was on that Achilles spirit. Is there anyone else? He's like, that's a hard scene. Yeah, he conquered everyone.
whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
He got gassed, if you want to put it into modern day terminologies, yeah? He got gassed up, man. Not forgetting the fact that the priests, the prophets came to him and told him it was the God of the Hebrews that blessed him to do what he did. Obviously, he ain't gonna, after you've won so many times, man,
I think it's you.
you think you're the done, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I've just, all these great battles, I'm the shit. So you get gassed up. Start speeding in your Ferrari and shit.
And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations, and kings who became tributary unto him.
You had to pay up. So he became rich.
And after these things,
And you know them friends he had, secretly they was jealous.
That's why they went mad when he died.
That's why when he was gone, they were like, yeah, now's an opportunity that I could be the guy. I could be the he's on that Macbeth spirit. They went on that imagine four Macbeths in one room. That's what them dudes were. 4 fucking snakes.
Fucking murdering each other and all that. Like.
You gotta understand your position in life, man. Yeah? You gotta understand, not everyone can be the top dog. Yeah? If you're gonna become the top dog, let it be by merit, man. Let it be through the spirit. But some people, they just want to be the top dog for the sake of being the top dog and fuck everything up. You know?
There's even accounts like I think when he was conquering the known world, that there were rebellions and like you were saying, he basically conquered lands and have it set up under the power of Greece, and then you'd have uprisings and rebellions where people, when they realized that he had some sort of say or power or try to rebel, they'd have to send back generals to control rebellions. There was loads of that at this time as well.
Yes. Go on.
and after these things, he fell sick, and he perceived that he should die.
Yeah, the Most High, he fought all them battles, you know, survived arrow, he probably got wounded multiple times. All kind of madness, man. For them ancient battles, it was a madness, man. Arrows flying everywhere, Which one's yours?
Isaiah
You ever
9
watched
and
that
5?
movie Saving Private Ryan? You
Isaiah
know when
9 and
they
5?
show you the scene of D-Day, they came off the boat. Man, that's fucking madness, man. If you make it, if you make it past the beach, man, that's madness.
Like
Man's next to you, just boom, head coming off. You know, like bullets are just flying like. What the fuck, man? But them ancient battles, you know, remember lick off their arrows are falling everywhere. One of them could be yours.
Flaming arrows, all of that. Yeah.
Before you blink in through the eye, you know, gone. He went through all of that, defeated everyone, got the riches and the little boys and everything, and then the Mosai just killed him with something that you can't even see. That's small, with no sword, no muscle, a disease.
Jacking him up.
Imagine that. That's why a man can't be proud. You can big, use mighty warrior and something so small.
Now you're laid
Just
up in the
destroyed
bed,
you,
dying
man.
away, withering away.
You defeated giants. There's some little speck of a thing that you got to look on in a microscope, wax you off. That's the power of the Lord, man.
Wherefore he
Had
called,
you all skinny up and small.
wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was
And
yet.
they weren't so honorable after all. They didn't keep that energy. They were really demons, man. Edomites.
And he parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. And his servants bare rule over everyone in his place.
And so he even gave them a part of his kingdom while he was alive. Look, you take that. But they're not demons. They just went on a tirade, man. They were that's Esau. That's what the Bible says.
But Esau still World War I, Esau still
never
warring
get
each
enough.
other, man. Over the spoils. Here it is, they got the whole earth just among themselves and they still warring each other, you know?
They never get enough, man.
Esau's the ultimate nigger, man.
And after this, and after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves.
Gas.
So did their sons after them many years, and evil were multiplied in the earth.
Yeah, because they were just demons, man. They were tired. You can imagine, man, these damn devils just gassed up out of control. Just, you know, you can't give Esau authority. He gets too gassed. Starts smelling himself too much. Starts doing madness, man. Making unrighteous decrees. You know? But anyway, that proves the point. So let's jump back into Daniel 7. I ain't forgot where we were. Right, that proves the point you were breaking down about the leopard with the 4 wings, and the 4 wings became what, 4 heads, right? Yeah. Confirmed?
Daniel 7 and 6, it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
By who?
The Most High,
He,
the Lord.
hey,
The Lord.
what's that? Psalms, what's it? 80, 86 is it? He set it up one
Kings and set. Yeah, and put under.
There's also in verse 18 as well.
But there's one in Psalms of commotion doesn't come from the east or the west, but
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, you know what that
Put
is?
it down. What's that? Psalms 86.
You know what? I'll find it. I'll find it.
I got one. I can get
Down
one.
244 as well.
On 2 points,
No, we can just get that one. It's a quick little dagger. You
Psalm 75 and 6.
Twist it.
Psalm 75 and 6.
Twist it.
So, and then, yeah. So, okay, you want to get that
Is it
first?
Psalms 86?
75 and 6.
Sorry.
In Psalm 75 and 6, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But Most High is a judge. He puts us down one and sets us up another.
So it's the Most High. Even though they were wicked idolaters, it's still the Most High that set them up.
Lord raised them in power.
Most High raised them up. Let's jump back.
Yeah, it says Daniel, back in Daniel 7:7, it says, after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible.
Right, now, we read about the Greeks, how they got their come up, how they defeated the Darius III, which was the last king of the Persians, and that ended that chapter, right?
They were done.
They were done. They were through from that. The Persians ain't come back since. All right? With the Persians are them Iranians, and them Persian immortals are back here today in the reincarnation. They're the Revolutionary Guard. That's the Persian immortals. Right? Now you got because remember the point is we're going into the Lord controlling prophecy, right? And he's stirring up the times. We still got that? Second Esdras, we had that in, was it 4? Yeah? I don't want to lose them precepts that were done. Right? Now what I want to get is right, brother, get the editions of Esther. Start from verse 7. Start from verse 7. Right? Hold that. Don't start reading that yet. What you got?
Daniel 7.
And you still holding. Read that real quick, just to remind those that are watching why we went through all of this. Because we're showing that the Most High controls prophecy. He controls time. He controls the rising and the falling. He controls the beginning and the end of all things. Go on.
He said in Ezra 4 and 37, by measure as he measured the times, and by number as he numbered the times.
So the Most High invented mathematics and timing. You got to watch. The Most High already done set up timing, man. Time is the Most High slave. Go on.
And he does not move nor still them until said measure be fulfilled.
You don't, meaning everything happens when it's meant to, and he ain't going to change the course. So if we go to Esther now, quick background, quickly. Haman was a chief among the Persians. But Haman wasn't a Persian by blood. Now the scripture says it's going to tell you what Haman was. He was an Agagite. It tells you that he was an Agagite, which is an Amalekite. Yeah? He was of the royal house of Agag. Right? Can we confirm that? Can we get that confirmed? Was that in the book of Esther? Can we confirm Haman the Agagite?
Yeah. Esther 9 and 24. Okay. You're gonna get it, yeah? Yeah, Esther 9 and 24.
Esther 9 and 24. Because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemies of all Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and he had cast who? That is the Lord, to consume them and to destroy them. But when Esther...
That's it, right? So Haman the Agagite, the son of Hammedatha, which he was an enemy of Israel, he was a damn Edomite, man. An Amalekite at that, the lowest of the low. The chief devils, right? Now let's jump. Esther, jump back. So he set up to destroy. He was chief among the Persians, and then he set up to destroy the Israelites, right? Because he knew the history, what we did, you know, and all that. Damn devil. But you're gonna find out he was really a double agent among the Persians. And the scriptures go expose it, that he was a double agent. He was a plant. Because
Working for
the
the East.
Macedonians were close with the Persians. I'm giving it away. But secretly, they were always planning to take down the Persians.